It's hard as hell for a young Florida boy where we play football and sell dope, man. Gold rims and sticks.
Yes, let's get right into this. Happy New Year. Thank you for subscribing. Salute to all my new subscribers. We just gonna start off the 2019. We're gonna just continue, give great content, talk about battle rap. I'm just gonna continue to answer all your questions, make sure I respond as much as I can, respond to your emails, Twitter, Instagram. I'm getting a plethora of requests, so thank you. Just continue to share the word. But today, what I just want to touch on is the Source magazine. They released the top 20 battle rappers of 2018. And when I looked at the list, I really had to dissect it. I didn't want to just come out with a blog just immediately just to be the first to release some content. I really had to give this some thought. But when I looked at the list, I kind of shake my head, and there's no disrespect, but to a couple battle rappers. I'm going to go over the list, and then I'm going to definitely talk about my honorable mentions who I feel like should have been on the list. So the top 20 is number 1, K-Shine. Number 2, Geechee Gotti. Number 3, Iron Solomon. Number 4, New Jersey Twork. Number 5, Pat Stay. Number 6, JC. Number 7, Rum Nitty. Number 8, Tay Rock. Number 9, A-Verb. Number 10, DNA. Number 11, T-Top. Number 12, A-Ward. Number 13, Loso. Number 14, Shuni the Rapper. Number 15, Danny Myers. Number 16, John the Don. 17, B-Dot. 18, Shotgun Shug. 19, Bill Collector. And last but not least, 20, Math Alpha. Let's talk about it. You know the slogan. Number 1, K-Shine, I really can't argue, to be honest. I mean, K-Shine 2018 had an impeccable year. I mean, arguably, we could say K-Shine kind of we're undefeated. I didn't have him going undefeated. I did have Geechee Gotti beating him, but if somebody was to argue, I cannot argue about that. You could look at my recap. I talked about it. But K-Shine, I can't argue that. Between him and Geechee Gotti, to me, that was 1 and 2. So Geechee Gotti being number 2, I didn't have no argument with that as well. Geechee Gotti had a great year. Possibly champion of the year. So I can't argue between those two. Iron Solomon also had a great year. I feel like it was a little bit too high, but I could understand it. He did definitely have a great year. He didn't turn out no battles. He came, he performed, and honestly, man, you could really say Iron won a lot of his battles. So he had a 2018. He definitely had a great year. Can't argue that. New Jersey Twork, I feel like that was a little bit too high. He had a good year, a little bit too high to me on that list. I had Arsenal beating him. I don't know what you guys, I kind of had Arsenal beating him in that matchup. And also 2018, there was some matchups that I felt like New Jersey Twork, he choked on. Let's talk about it. Let's be honest. DNA, from him with some battles not showing up, deposit issues, stuff like that. We got to put all that into account. So I think that was a little bit too high. Pat Stay, I probably would have had Pat Stay even over New Jersey Twork. To me, Pat Stay had a great year. Yeah, he really had a good 2018. So I couldn't argue that. I think I probably would have had him maybe 1 higher on that. JC followed in number 6. So are we saying that JC... See, that makes me think. Are we saying that Pat Stay and New Jersey Twork had a better year than JC? If you think about it, JC... He had a great 2018, man. JC, think about it. He battled DNA. I remember he battled that guy KD at even though it was a smaller league, we got to take this into account. That was, I think, at a STL Street Report in St. Louis. He battled Iron Solomon, of course, Geechee Gotti, T-Top, New Jersey Twork. I kind of think that New Jersey, was that end of 2017? I think that may have been, but his resume, he had a great resume, and then and his opponents were, JC would have get some top dogs, man. He would have get some animals, man. I think I would have probably had JC top five. I think. Rum Nitty, he definitely deserves to be up there. He had a great year. Tay Rock, number 8. Now, my question to the fans, because this is what I was thinking about as I was looking at this. Tay Rock, of course, he's definitely top tier. But is it safe to say that in 2018 he may have lost the majority, if not all, his battles? I mean, let's just really think about it. I mean, Goods, Pat Stay. I'm just thinking. Let's. I don't know, man. Is it arguable? I mean, if we could argue it, then I could definitely understand. But that's what makes me think: are we putting him a little bit too high? I mean, should Goods also be on this list? So just things that make you think. Averb, number 9. It made me think Averb, to me, could possibly have been a little bit higher just based off the Murder Mook match. Because arguably, people say that he beat Murder Mook, and Murder Mook was considered the GOAT, right? So if you're considered the GOAT, the best of all time, is it safe to say that if I beat you, wouldn't that have moved me up? Just food for thought. Just makes me think. DNA, can't argue that. DNA, always consistent. T-Top, I mean, NWX is on the map. A-Ward, great year, can't argue that. Loso, that's another person that made me think. He just battled Chef Trez. I seen it. Chef Trez beat him. Are we saying that Loso had a better year than like a John the Don when John just battled Hollow and we got John at 16? And some people are saying that Hollow beat. I mean, John possibly could have beat Hollow. So things that just make you think. Danny Myers, 15. A lot of people are running away from Danny Myers. To be honest, they don't really want to step in that ring with him for whatever reason. B-Dot, number 17. B-Dot had a good year to me, man. B-Dot had a good year. I just seen that 2-on-2 with him and Geechee Gotti versus Marv Won at Quest McCody. I didn't do a recap on that. Fire battle. A lot of these small leagues, even though they don't get their recognition, I see what you guys are doing, man. Fire battle. If you didn't. So B-Dot, should B-Dot be a little bit higher? I had him a little bit higher. Shotgun Suge, 18. Bill Collector. Quiet as kept. Bill Collector had an impeccable 2018. Bill Collector battled a lot. See, the thing is that Bill Collector also battled on a lot of small leagues, but he put in that work. So we got to count that. I mean, that battle on Verbal Warzone against Dre Dennis, that third round alone, if you stop what you're doing right now, go to Verbal Warzone, Bill Collector versus Dre Dennis, that third round, wow. It was a song. Like, Bill Collector on the beat, of course he's nice, but he did a whole song off of Dre Dennis. I mean, the third round was so bad that Dre Dennis, when it was his turn to go, he was like, man, how do you even top that? Like, how do I top that? Impeccable year for Bill Collector. So I think Bill Collector could have even been higher. And then Math Hoffa. No disrespect, but I don't even know why Math Hoffa probably was on this list. I mean, who? I remember the battle that he had with Ill Will, but 2018, I mean, no, I don't think we should have included that. I mean, the source, I really felt like, and I think they ranked this based off, I think it was some poll, or I don't know if it was, they reached out and waited for a certain amount of responses, but whoever responded or whoever did this poll wasn't really accurate. Kind of just looking at it, probably is not into the battle rap culture. And they probably should have reached out to some more bloggers. I mean, even if not myself, I mean, you got Angry Fan, you got Piper Boy Williams, Butterfly, I mean, Rome DMV, Angry Fan, I mean, Battle Truth. You got a lot of guys out there who's into this that could have really helped out, because I'm still looking at this and I'm like, wow. People who were missed on this list, that's another thing. I mean, how isn't Ill Will not on here? Ill Will could have easily replaced Matt Hoffa and a lot of guys. Ill Will, to be honest, 2018, he just had a classic with Calico. What? He had a classic with Calico. He battled T-Top. He battled Shotgun Suge. I kind of want to say that may have been 2017 end of it, but I'm thinking maybe top of 2018. I could be wrong. But he battled Big T. I mean, come on, man. Ill Will deserve to be on unless he put in work. So I was really surprised with that. Also, Old Red. Why isn't Old Red on here? Old Red, to me, had a good 2018. Briz Rothstein, Iris Solomon. I remember he battled Gutter. That was on the small league. Of course, Cortez. We got to take that into account as well. And then also, I also had Cortez. Cortez put in work. He battled Passwords. Of course, I just mentioned he battled Old Red, which in a small room, and the people have that as a bona fide classic. On Verbal Warzone, I remember he battled Butter from the Block, if that's his name, I believe. Fire battle. Cortez on the beat. Wow, that was impeccable. I was like, wow. A-Ward, of course. So, yeah, he put in work, man. Cortez had a good... And if I'm missing some battles, let me know. I'm just thinking off the top and writing down a little bit of notes. But I'm just thinking, like, he should have definitely been on here. I mean, he could have replaced some of these guys as well. Why isn't Hollow the Don on here as well? I feel like Hollow the Don, he had some great battles. I mean, we know he battled John recently. And to me, with that battle, that was a fire battle. That could have went anyway. And then, of course, Arsenal. How can we forget that? Especially the history. I mean, when they first battled on Fight Club, until now, the rematch. And plus, it was in a small room. I can't forget that. And then, of course, I feel like Arsenal, too. Arsenal could have been on here. Arsenal had a great year. Recently battling Pat Stay, going out the country, then battling Twerk. That was a fire battle. Arsenal came back in 2018. He put in work. I feel like I'm missing one. Oh, I think Tony D. Was that 2018 when Arsenal battled him? Is somebody go? I think so. Yeah. Those are the guys I'm thinking about. And then possibly Goods. The reason why I'm thinking about Goods, I know he battled Gems, but I'm just thinking about that Tay Rock battle. The reason why I'm thinking about that because before Tay Rock battled Goods, it was like Tay Rock to me was on a streak. Couldn't lose, was just going. And then when he battled Goods, a lot of people had Goods winning. And I feel like ever since he battled Goods, I feel like Tay Rock's stock kind of dropped because when he battled Pat Stay, I feel like he just kind of went on a losing streak a little bit because then when he battled Pat Stay, a lot of people had Pat Stay winning as well. So I felt like Goods was kind of Tay Rock's kryptonite, if that makes sense. And I would probably throw him on there as well. And then putting in that work in 2018. So, I mean, let me know what your thoughts is. One more guy I forgot to mention, Briz Rothstein. I forgot about him. I mean, just battling Mr. Wavy, giving him that chance. I think Briz also Rum Nitty. I think that happened. Old Red. I know that happened in 2018. Yeah, so Briz definitely put in that work. So we definitely got to include Briz on that list. So, I mean, the next time, the only advice I would just say is I think the source should reach out to some bloggers who's definitely into the battle rap culture, and we could definitely provide adequate feedback and definitely help you assess your list because you're doing a disservice to some of these battle rappers who really put in that work. Let me know if anybody I missed on this list. Let me know if you feel like the people that I mentioned deserves to be on this list. And what you guys think? How would you guys stack up 2018 as far as the top 20 battle rappers? So yeah, let's just definitely talk about it. But I just had to do a recap because people were asking me like, man, what do you think about this? So I definitely had to go ahead and look into this and say, you know what, let me really assess this situation and give my proper recap on this. So let me know what you think. Until then, signing off.
It's hard as hell for a young Florida boy. Where we play football and sell dope, man.